Good afternoon. This is Kimberly from Essence Tabletalk. We're glad to have you today. We just want you to know we have some special guests here who's going to give us some great information. And I'll be your host, and we also have a second host who is...
I'm Melinda Patterson.
Yes.
You all know me. I've been with Essence Tabletalk for a long time. You know, and it's such a privilege to be here with you, Kimberly, sharing the information that we have today.
And we have great information we're going to share.
Hallelujah, yes, we sure do. So, Kimberly, go ahead.
Yes, so our guests, we have special guests here. We have a great foundation who's going to talk to us and give us great information on how, special needs. So if you have anyone out there, family members or friends who need special needs, equipment or just something that they need to talk about or something like that, we have them here. So we have Crystal.
Yes.
We have Crystal Carpenter, and who is the founder,
Yes.
and Gary Carpenter, who is the co-founder of Special Angels Foundation. So we're so glad you're here today.
Oh,
Thank
yes.
you.
Thank you for
Thank
inviting
you.
us.
It's
We really
exciting. We want to
appreciate
know.
that.
Well, we want to know about this, okay?
We do.
We sure do.
Yes.
So what do you think? Should we start with the founder and find out what this is about?
Let's start with the founder.
That's
Yeah,
good.
she
All
does.
right. All right.
She has
Good
it.
choice.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
Yes, like you said, my name is Crystal Carpenter. I am founder of Special Angels Foundation. And one of the reasons I started Special Angels Foundation is that I'm a retired teacher from juvenile hall.
Oh.
I spent 25 years in Rialto as a teacher, and then I furthered my career for at-risk students in Yucaipa, Calamasa. After that, I had a passion deeper after I went back to school and I received my master's degree. I wanted to dig deeper into some of our kids that were at risk. And so I went into Juvenile Hall Detention Center in San Bernardino.
Yes.
I spent 5 years there, ending my career there, and I saw the most severe students come into the juvenile hall. And one of the things that I noticed the most while I was there is that 90% of our kids that are incarcerated had a disability. And a lot of our kids that were incarcerated, they gave up on themselves. They gave up on themselves because they didn't see their potential anymore.
Right.
And they spiraled out as young as the 6th grade.
Do you think their parents have anything to do with that, or it's just the environment? Because a lot of times it's environmental.
It is, and sometimes it is deeper when kids are left to themselves to
Yes.
raise themselves.
Latchkey kids.
Yes. And some of the parents are at work, or some of the parents were incarcerated.
Yes.
And they had maybe a
Yes.
single family home, and they were out trying to survive through.
Well, there are a lot of single family homes now.
Yes,
There's a
it
lot
is.
of children without daddy,
Yes.
without them head of the house, in the
Right.
house. So do you find that sometimes those disabilities are not enhanced, but they get bigger, and the disability could be anything, right?
Right. And
mental
yes.
as well.
Yes, physical, emotional, mental, and actually that is mostly all of our students to some degree. But what happens is when a kid has autism and they've been identified in the schools and they have behavior issues, then it becomes more severe in a classroom of 30 to teach that student.
Right.
Because they're disruptive, they have an inability to stay focused, and so they need smaller settings, maybe one-on-one help.
Right.
Where being a one teacher in a classroom with 30 students, and when you walk into a class that size and try to educate and meet everyone's needs, it's very difficult. And so, yes, kids give up on themselves because they fall behind academically.
Right.
And then that becomes a struggle. And especially because the world has turned a little bit in the educational system where the system has said, let's educate the kids in the mainstream population as opposed to separating them. And so we do try to do that, but it's difficult when you have a large size and these kids don't have one-on-one assistance in the classroom. So the teacher because sometimes they are not trained professionally how to
I
handle that.
agree with that. I
Yes.
totally agree with that.
And so
Yes.
what happens is when you put a kid in that type of setting, and a lot of the kids are excelling, and then when you hand this kid his academic paper, he's failing.
Yes.
Now that is hard on a kid mentally, emotionally, and so they want to get out of that situation
Right.
because they don't see hope in that. And so I have seen over the career, my career, is that a lot of kids spiral out of control and they give up on themselves as young as 12, 13.
Right.
And when teachers can't reach
that's
them,
right, that's at a vulnerable age right there.
Right.
Where they run away and they just like quit.
junior high is the most difficult because they are in that
Yes.
little middle area
Right.
of life, and they trying to figure out, you know, who they are and so forth. And so they give up on themselves, and sometimes a lot of our teachers are taught by other races that don't understand their aggression and their behavior
They may
and
be
how
trying to express themselves.
Right.
And the culture as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a barrier.
What they're expressing themselves doesn't mean that they're angry, doesn't mean that they're bad. It just
Right.
means that's how they express themselves as a
Exactly.
culture.
Right.
As a culture.
And so, you know, when I read through the transcripts at the juvenile hall, and I was heartbroken because I saw so many of our children, especially our black and brown children, that were incarcerated. And they were set aside and they were institutionalized. And I had kids in big bodies, 5'7", 6 feet
Yeah.
tall, in my classroom. And this is the hardest thing in the institution, is that they classify you based on your crime. They don't classify you based on your age. So we
Right.
had kids as young as 13 in the same class with 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds. And they were having behavior issues based on the association of the kids they were involved with.
Right.
And so it's a very difficult job. And I took on that job because I wanted to at least try to finish my career and make a difference. And so that was one of the reasons I took it on. But when I was there, and this will be the last thing about my profession, is that my heart broke so deeply for our children that I used to keep them behind. Instead of going home, I used to stay there. And I said, bring them in one by one and try to work with them academically
Right.
and give them hope. And so when I retired, I told them, I said, I'm going to work harder for you outside than I can inside, because one of the debilitating things inside is that their behavior is controlled by medication.
Yes. Yeah.
A lot of the kids that with disabilities were given medication to control their behavior, and then they sent them into my classroom to educate. And 12-year-olds
And
are
they're shaking, they're tired,
and they
all
couldn't
those.
concentrate.
There's no way they can concentrate.
And
under those
they would
circumstances.
collapse sometime and had to say, can I just go back to my cell and sleep? And so this is still going on today.
Yes, still, it
And
is.
so it burns in my heart because I see that we as adults and everyone out here should take up, you know, the cause to support our children and families. That some of our single family homes don't know where to turn. Because I did IEPs with our children, and when I was in IEP meetings, a lot of our kids and parents they were looking to us like, what do I
'cause
do?
They don't,
What
they
do I
don't
do?
understand. Right.
Yeah, and so I did see that, and it broke my heart. And so that is why I'm here today. That's partly why I'm here today. I have a personal experience, but I want to share. My husband share. He's the co-founder,
Yes.
and he's a retired fire captain. And I tell you, he and I retired closely at the same time, by a couple of months difference.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yeah.
He
That is
has
good.
all the administrative skills, organization
And
skills.
what skills do you have? You have the.
And I am the educator. I am the network.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But he is the framework of Special Angels. He makes sure everything is ran professionally and correctly, and he pours his whole heart into it. So I want to give him an opportunity to share a little bit.
Absolutely. All right, Mr. Co-founder, let's talk.
Yeah, so Gary, tell us a little bit about the grants that you guys provide for the country.
Okay, thank you once again for allowing us to share our message with your audience. This is just phenomenal. Special Angels, as Crystal was saying, was created for the educational reason, but also, you know, we have 2 special needs grandkids, and they both have cerebral palsy. So we saw that the parents and the families weren't getting the resources they needed in order to help their disability. So part of her mission when she retired from juvenile hall, and we were sitting in our kitchen saying, so she's saying, how can I give back? How can we give back? Well, me as a fire captain, you know, being public service for over 30 years, we came up with, you know, giving back to special needs kids because, and this was pre us having 2 special needs grandkids.
Right.
So by putting that together, you know, we provide grants up to $2,500 for equipment, assistive equipment, up to $1,500 for therapies, different type of therapy, speech, occupational. We also help with deductibles and co-pays. Something that a lot of grant you know, providers don't do is they don't provide grants for equine or horse therapy.
Oh, okay.
And we provide grants for horse
Sometimes they'll
therapy.
pay for half of it, but they won't pay for the complete.
Well, actually, none of it.
What is horse therapy?
Horse therapy is it's a therapy where the child rides a horse with a trainer, and it works on their gait, it works on their balance, it works on doing other things with their hands, emotional, you know, connecting with the horse, connecting with environment. So there's been some studies that show that that's been effective. So while other organizations won't cover that, we feel it's important.
That's great.
We also cover, like, you know, music therapy, you know, whatever we can provide that'll help. Also summer camps.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So for special
summer
needs
camp.
kids.
Yes,
So
we do.
the child finds a special needs camp, or
Right.
the parents do that the kids wants to go to, they contact us and we expedite their grant.
Wow.
That's great.
That is
That's great.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, I did have a friend who did horse therapy, and because she was going through a lot of emotional things in her life, and she said that's what she had to do to get away.
Yes.
And she said it was so helpful.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
she came
calming
back.
for
It's
the
calming.
kids.
Yeah,
Yes.
relax, and she said it was so helpful. She was so glad she did that. But so now, I mean, but I didn't know. That's the first time I ever heard of it. So now I'm hearing you guys do it with
Karate as
younger.
well. We cover that as well.
That's great.
nice.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
we help kids that have, you know, they undisciplined.
Right.
And so through karate, it's a way to discipline the kid.
Yeah, there's a way to express themselves, and a way to
And get the
anger
aggression out.
the aggression out.
Right,
yes.
right. Yeah, and so I would just piggyback on something he said about my personal experience why I started Special Angel. So my daughter graduated with a master's degree, and she became, and she works for Clark County and CPS worker.
Oh,
Child
nice.
protective
And
Services.
child protective custody. And while she is at work, she has to work at nights because she has twins, Eli and Ezra, and they have cerebral palsy. Now, she works at night so that no one really wants to watch kids with cerebral palsy because it's a very difficult job.
Yes.
Right.
And Eli
It's
is more,
physical.
he's nonverbal, and he has a lot of challenges. And so she is not a stay-home mom. She wants to work, but what happened is because she lives in Nevada, they denied her all services because they said, you make too much money. Based on your income, you
goodness.
with 2 disabled children, because of your income, you cannot have any services until they're 18.
Oh my goodness.
And when I found that out, I mean, she has to pay for child care, everything,
Yes.
with 2 children,
Wow.
and try to work because she is a professional.
Right.
And she could stay at home and just be a bum, but she wanted a quality of
Right,
life.
right,
And
exactly.
she owns her own home and so forth.
Sometimes
So-
I feel like we're being penalized.
Yeah,
'cause
you
we
are,
make a little bit
right.
of extra. Not
Oh,
that we're
yeah,
not
yeah,
rich,
yeah.
but
Right.
just because we make a little more than the average person, and then you don't qualify for anything.
Right.
Yes,
right.
and so she was denied service. So our state, California, give us services.
Right, it's two different. I have found that there are two
Yes.
states to state.
That's
Yes,
right.
it is
different.
not equal.
It's not equal.
Not equal.
Nope.
She's denied all services in Nevada
That breaks my heart.
and other states that Gary knows that we get grants from. They are denied service. They don't have the same type of resources
right.
California gives.
Right.
That was another passion of mine. How can we help families in other states? That's why I said we don't care what type of disability a child has. We cover all disability, and we
Nice.
try to assist parents with resources
Yes.
wherever they are.
Because sometimes the parents need to be educated
Yes.
on what's going on.
Right.
So if you can educate the parent, then it makes it easier for the child too.
Right.
And for the teachers.
Right. And so that was my passion. And then lastly, I had to meet my daughter on the 15 freeway because we try to give her respite. My husband and I, we sacrifice a week or so of our time to help her because it's too expensive to ask a child provider to come in and do that service. And so the hardship of that falls on the parents as well as the family, extended
Yes.
family.
Yes.
And so my husband and I, we would stop our week and we would watch her children for her to give her a respite break. And while we doing that, I said, you know what? I'm going to meet you on the freeway and pick him up. And so I picked him up, and he was in a regular car seat at the time. And I'm driving home with him. Now, he's nonverbal, he has
Right.
cortical blindness,
Right.
and he has cerebral palsy. So he has his hands up like this while he's in the car. He never puts his hands down. He would ride. But while I'm driving, his hands slip behind the headrest, and it's a still little part back there
Right.
that I was not aware of while I'm in the front seat driving.
Right. And you couldn't see
And
it.
so he's crying. And I was like, okay, Eli, I'll be home really soon. Don't worry. So when I get there, I take him out the car seat, and his whole hand is sliced.
Oh, from that metal.
And because he can't speak,
Right. He couldn't tell you.
I had no idea.
Right.
And this when I saw the severity of what our kids go through,
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
you know, on a daily basis. Parents
okay.
that have nonverbal kids that
Absolutely.
can't speak, they don't know when they're hungry.
Right.
They don't know when they're in pain.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't know when they're suffering.
Absolutely.
They don't know when they need a drink. They don't even know when they need
Right.
food. So when we watch them, we have to do trial and error. We have to say, Eli, you want something to eat? You know, and I have to try to see if he's hungry.
Very
Or
proactive.
when you know, just simple things that we take for granted.
Yes.
You know, we have to really
Don't
figure
we?
those out mentally.
Yes.
But that broke my heart and still does.
Yes.
That
Yes.
a kid couldn't even, at 12 years old almost, he'll be 12 in October, he couldn't even communicate. My hand is stuck behind the
Right.
headrest.
I know that broke your heart. It's just,
And so,
just hearing that breaks my heart.
my emotions for what we do is real,
It's real.
and it is so needful. And our families that can't have a voice because they've been denied services, they don't know where to turn. They endlessly looking online, looking for resources, looking for help. So we get inundated with grants. We get inundated with people asking for equipment, asking for therapy, so that we can, you know, get
Yes.
some relief for their kid.
Right.
Things that they can afford. Now, his car seat, she applied for a grant through us, and his car seat was $3,000. Gary, you did the research. You could tell them about that.
Yeah, it's a special needs car seat that a lot of special needs children get. It actually, you know, in the seating position, actually swivels out,
Oh, okay.
so you can get your child out without having to lift him over the car seat. Working with a company, it was
Right,
about
right.
$3,500. And so after talking to them and telling them what we do, they gave us like a 40% discount.
That is
So the
wonderful.
grant was,
That's
the grant was
Yes,
able to
that's
cover the whole
wonderful.
piece of
Yes.
equipment. And that's kind of
Absolutely.
what we do. You know, giving people, you know, children with special needs voices. You know, our
Yes.
grants are from age 0 to 18. So any child within that, you know, age frame can apply for a grant.
Where would they go
Okay.
if they need to apply for a
To
grant?
apply for a grant, you go to specialangelsfoundation.org on our homepage, and there's a link to the grant application
Oh,
page.
okay.
Right.
Okay.
And you said you also have counseling also?
No, we don't have
Not
we don't
counseling
have
or no?
counseling.
Okay.
No, what we do though is we do provide the assistance
Resources.
for counseling,
Okay, wonderful.
We
Yeah.
would cover their co-pays
deductibles.
and deductibles. We cover
Okay.
that for
Oh,
them.
okay,
Because a
yes,
lot of
yes.
kids that go to therapy, they go maybe twice a week, sometime once a week, and it becomes very expensive. So what we want to do is take the
pressure off
the
their-
pressure
Oh,
off of the
yes.
families coming out of their pockets.
Absolutely.
And then that they can continue to receive services without having to strain financially. So that's our whole focus, is to help our kids and then get them off of some of the strong medication just because they have autism.
Right.
They put them on these really altering, brain altering drugs, and then they wild out on them.
Right.
And so lastly, I want to share about our upcoming event.
Yes, please share. Please share about your
Our
upcoming
gala.
event. Please share.
Since COVID happened, we have not been able to have a gala.
Uh-huh.
And we are so excited to have our gala that's coming up in October.
Okay.
October the 12th at 5 o'clock at the Doubletree Hotel in Ontario, California. We are going to have an amazing gala. And the gala is so amazing to me because it's a time for us to get our
Yes.
best out, our dress,
You get to
formal
dress up, wear high
attire,
heels.
Yeah.
formal dinner, and also we are featuring Celine Dion. Elisa Fur is a performer. She performs all over the world, Europe. She's on the
Nice.
cruise ships. She's in Las Vegas. And I have never met anyone that can sing like Celine Dion.
Nice.
This woman can. And she's going to put on an hour concert. And not only that, we're going to have dancing afterwards
Nice.
and our ceremony. But it is something to come out. And the most important thing is you are supporting a child that's in
Yes.
need.
Right.
Right.
And that's the
right.
most important.
You're having
But-
fun, and
Yeah.
at the same time,
And we
you're
are
doing
helping.
something great.
Right.
We are supporting a child in need. And lastly, we have an early bird special.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Up to
about the early bird special.
first
I
week
like
of
that.
I think I like that.
September. The first week of September,
Okay.
the tickets are $90.
Okay.
And that includes a lot. You're getting a full course, 3-course meal, a concert, a dance, and fun.
Oh,
Awesome.
yeah.
And at the Doubletree, and the Doubletree
Yes.
donated 350 cookies so that each person that shows up,
Right.
the Doubletree has fabulous cookies and they
Nice.
are delicious. So they are donating 350 cookies
It sounds
to
like we're
all
going
of
to
our
have
guests.
fun, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know about you or me.
Yes,
I
yes.
think
So
I'm going
come
to.
out
board.
and support us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So one of the wonderful things that when you shared with me originally about helping the children, helping them, you know, we have a young man and he's autism. That's the word for it, autism. And that boy can sing.
Yes.
Oh Lord, he's got a gift. He can
Yeah,
pull,
it's a
throw
gift.
out them.
That's a gift.
Yes,
It
it's a
is a
total
gift.
gift. And he's going to social work or psychiatry counseling, and they suggested he get a piano. So I found a piano, but it's $250 to deliver to his house.
wow.
I don't have $250, so maybe we can talk later.
Maybe- Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and this
Yes.
boy
Yes.
is phenomenal. He just graduated from high school, and his mother is so dedicated to him.
Oh, what a blessing.
She is so dedicated to making sure that he is taken care of. In fact, I have his picture in my other booklet down the hall there.
Right. You do.
I would love
So
more.
let me just talk a little bit about the gala we have coming up.
Yes.
So there's 3 different packages right now. We do have the $90 special,
Okay.
early bird special, and that includes dinner and some pretty good seating. So then there's also a gold package and a platinum package, which gives you graduating benefits. So also there we have sponsorships also, which are on our website. You know, for sponsoring, a certain amount of dollar amount, and you get your
Right,
advertising and stuff like that. So that's
Sounds
available
great,
as well.
huh?
Yeah, sounds
So we're going to
Yeah.
also, here at Rialto Network, then we'll put all that information out there
you.
too.
Yes.
So that, you know, people
We'll
that
be out
are
there.
interested and want to help
Yes.
Yes.
and want to help.
Yes.
You know, it's not just about fun that we're going to have, because we're going to have a ball,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but it's the money, every dime will go into that
Yeah,
passion
yep, right.
that
The foundation.
this young lady
Thank you.
has. So,
Yes,
Yes.
thank
you know, I just thank the
Yes.
Lord for you
Amen.
bringing,
Thank
you know,
you. So
So
coming
you guys
here.
are truly special angels.
Angels, yes.
Thank you so much.
I love
so much
it.
for being here.
And thank you so
Yes.
much again
You're
for
so welcome.
having this opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thank
will.
you.
Thank you.
Well, we thank everyone for listening and tuning in to Essence Tabletalk. We thank you, I'm Kimberly Anthony.
And I'm Melinda Patterson.
Yes. And we thank you, and we will see you next time. Thank you.
Next time.